Hello everyone who have chosen part 1, Wake Up. Let's see what are some major changes that are coming and what good changes are coming into your life. So I'll first shuffle the cards. I've got Page of Cups in reverse and Knight of Cups in reverse. So first of all, what are some changes that are coming? I would say that whatever that you've been striving for, you'll probably either see progress or a completion of something that you've been working on. So that could be a project, a just like something you might have applied for. So maybe you are training for something, you're studying for something, or you might be like in the middle of a job application or job training. I would see that that is the major good changes that are coming to your life. And let's see if we've got more cards to clarify that. Got Strength in reverse and Eight of Cups upright. So basically what this means is that whatever that you've been putting on a lot of effort for, you can finally relax and leave it behind. You can finally take a rest. You can finally just see some good changes in your life, see something new, something exciting. Like you can finally relax and stop working so hard, I suppose, or either stop working so hard or stop having to look for new things, like look for new hobbies to do, look for new talents, look for new skills, like, or new jobs. It seems that like this is the completion, this is the end. You will finally get what you want, or you'll finally complete something so that you no longer have to look for new things. But I will read the card Wake Up and from the book. So we've got the Alice in Wonderland book, and we're just gonna read number 25. Wake up, it's your moment. Wake up, Dormouse, and they pinched it on both sides at once. When this card comes to you, you can be sure that you have the spotlight turned directly on you. You're being asked to wake up, to be present to what is being asked of you, and to rise to the occasion. Although you may feel like withdrawing and not being so visible, there is no running away. You cannot sleep through this moment, for others are eagerly waiting to hear from you. They are ready to listen to and enjoy what you have to offer, to finally hear what you have been waiting to say for a very long time. You may feel you're not ready. You may be hesitant to speak up. You may also wish to withdraw and hide, either in sleep or in hibernation. But there is no turning away from your moment. And when it comes, as it will, make it count. Tell your story, speak up strong, share your words and thoughts. If people interrupt and demand explanations, continue regardless. The time for sleeping and dreaming is over. Suddenly, and almost quite unexpectedly, it is time to awaken and share the wonders you have within you. So that is the message this card have for you. But just to add on to that, is to say that you can finally show off that thing that you've been working on, or that project that you've been working on, and you can finally show off that you've got the job, that you've got the house, you've got the car. You can finally show off because it's time to wake up to your beautiful reality that you have created for yourself. It is not the time to be dreaming about what could be. It's not the time to just keep thinking about what you don't have. It's time for you to wake up and realize that what you've been trying to create is already here. What you have manifested is here, and if it's not here in your 3D, it is here in your 4D world, meaning that it is coming. It is coming. And I know some people are like, just why isn't it here yet? Why is my manifestation isn't here yet? Maybe you've been manifesting for quite a while now, but the important part is that it's time for you to wake up and stop thinking that you are like your manifestations are only in your dreams. Stop thinking that, oh, I just have to keep like visualizing my manifestations. It's time to think, instead of thinking, oh, as long as I visualize and like pretend it's there. Don't even say that, because the key point is you don't have to pretend it's there. You just have to think it's here. I hope that makes sense, because basically what I'm trying to articulate here is that it's not about what you don't have, it's not about what you pretend you're having, it's about what you already have. Say you want a car, you don't pretend that you have a car to yourself. That makes sense. If you have a car, you just say, oh, I have this car, whatever brand, whatever name, whatever color. Say like, already have this car. You don't think, oh, I'm just gonna pretend to everyone else I have this car. And if you feel like, oh, but I don't have a car in my 3D world to show up to, I don't have a 3D car, sorry, I don't have a car in the 3D world to brag about it, then don't brag about it yet. Don't make other people, don't let other people come into your manifestations. Don't let them come into your reality. So what I mean is, until that car is in your 3D world, you don't need to tell everybody about it. Because you might, because it's like, okay, you're manifesting a car. It's there in your 4D world, it's there in your head, it's there every time like you tell yourself it's already here. But then you go out and then you tell people, oh, I already have the car, because you might think it'll help your manifestations. But if anything, they'll be like, oh, what car do you have? But then you go, oh, I don't, like they want to see it or something. And then you go, oh, I don't actually have that car to show you. Like it just further get into the mindset of your lack. You know, like you lack that car is probably what it concludes to when you're trying to brag off to other people. So what I'm trying to say here is that it's time to wake up and realize that it is your moment and it's yours only. You know, you can brag about your car to yourself until that car comes into your vision, your 3D world. Until that car comes into your 3D world, just keep it to yourself. You know, visualize by yourself, dreams by yourself, tell yourself that you already have that car. You don't need to tell it to anyone else, because your manifestations aren't anyone but yours alone. They are yours to feel proud of, they are yours to tell yourself. You don't need other people to tell you, oh my god, your car's so cool. You need to tell yourself your car is here and that it's cool. That's just an example, and that basically goes for anything that you are visualizing. It's just to say that you have the strength within yourself. You don't need to show it off to everyone else. And it's like every time you tell someone else and they think you have it, it's a good thing, but until you can show it to them yourself, like show them that thing that you've manifested, maybe keep it to yourself for now. I think you might find that your manifestations come easier to you. Let's do one more. Temperance. That is a beautiful card to end it. Is that to say that angels, universe are on your side. They're here to make your manifestation come true. They are looking over you, taking care of you, and they think you deserve everything that you want. You deserve absolutely everything that you want. It is your moment. It is time for you to wake up. But the only thing is, you mustn't let other people's opinion, you mustn't let other people get in the way of your manifestations. But in terms of what good things are coming, I would probably say everything. Everything that you desire is here, and it's here for you. You know, even if you don't see it in the 3D world right now, it's coming. That car, that house, that job, that anything, your new friends, your new relationship, anything, you must think that your desires are not limited. You must think your desires are limitless. You can get whatever you want and you can have it now. So basically the message here is that keep manifesting, keep dreaming, you'll get it. Thank you for listening, guys, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, Power 2, and for those who chose do not drink poison, welcome. And I will now first start shuffling the cards to see what major changes that are good that are coming your way. we've got the Star in reverse, the Hermit, and the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So I want to start off by saying that some of the major changes or good changes that come into your life is that you are stepping out of your hermit mode. So if you feel like you've been isolated, you've been like not wanting to talk to your friends, or you feel like, I don't know, maybe you just feel like you don't have the energy, you don't want to make the effort, I can see that that's ending for you. So that means you're gonna have a lot more energy, you're gonna have a lot more compassion. Yeah, I hear the word compassion, but I also hear the word energy. So I would say that you're gonna, if you feel like you don't want to hang out with people, not because you don't want to, but maybe because you feel like you're not in a good place, so maybe you're a bit more grumpy, a bit more snappy, a bit more cranky with them. I can see that your energy is shifting, and that the good change is that you want to go out more because when you go see them, you're no longer in that grumpy energy. Now, I would say that another thing too is that with this card, do not drink poison, and it says do not do things you know that are bad for you. So I would highly suggest that you know what isn't good for you right now. You know what you shouldn't be doing. You know that maybe you shouldn't be spending 9 hours on your phone every day, or that you shouldn't smoke that cigarette, but you do it. And although that is okay, I can see that in some other ways it is hindering your life. In some other ways, it requires change. And I know that it sounds like, oh, it's not things that are coming to you, but it's something that you have to do to make that change. But I suppose another thing is that you must realize that change also comes within yourself. Your choice to not smoke that cigarette, to spend less time on your phone, could lead you to even more serendipitous opportunities or hobbies or time that you didn't even know that you had time for. You know, maybe you picked up that guitar that you've been waiting to play, or see those friends that you want to see. I think it's like your habits or your hobbies or whatever that you are spending a whole lot of time on that you know isn't productive is making you self-isolate. It's making you it's draining your energy from having, it's draining your energy, and it's making you feel too tired, or you're too tired to do anything else that you really want to be doing. But I want to read this card out to you. So I've got the Alice in Wonderland Oracle book, and I will be reading the messages that they have. Do not drink poison. Do not do things you know that are bad for you. If you drink much from a bottle marked poison, it is almost certain to disagree with you sooner or later. The message here is, you deserve to treat yourself well. You deserve to inhibit what is not good for you. You do not need to try what is bad for you to know that it is not for you. So when this card comes, Wonderland is advising you to no longer do what is not in your best interest. You have a habit or two that you would do well to let go of. You have people in your life that you keep giving time and space to, despite knowing you will suffer afterwards, that you will again be upset and disturbed by their harshness, their unkindness. Poison does not only come in bottles, it comes in the forms of others who hurt us, deliberately or even without their knowledge. It can simply be that they are not for you, and you are not for them. Poison comes in the form of words which hurt and harm, that fall from your lips or which are spoken about you by others. There are situations you may know that may hurt or endanger you. There are substances which could be toxic for you, and you do not need to have them in your life anymore. When this card comes to you, it is time to eradicate that which can poison you at last. It is not cruel to refuse to hurt yourself. you will be astonished at the energy you will have once you remove these toxins from your life. And I feel like that perfectly summarizes what I've been saying, is that there are habits that is draining your energy. There are people, as well as the book has mentioned, that are draining your energy. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be others. Maybe it's you who are doing it. And I don't mean to say that you're a bad person by any means, or that what you do is really, really bad. But I think you know. I think you know it yourself. And if you ever confuse, like, oh, what habits do I have that is like really bad for me, you could try asking others. People who know you can probably tell you what that is. So I'm saying here that it might not even be something as obvious as smoking a cigarette, or something a bit more general, such as being on your phone all the time. It is also probably your mindset as well. So if you find yourself having a lot of victim mentality, or just like a self-blame kind of mindset, like, oh, what I did was so wrong, I feel so guilty, I feel so guilty for not seeing others, I feel guilty for not being productive, like that, this and that, I feel like blah blah blah. Just stop blaming yourself if that is what you're having, or the victim mentality, like, oh, it's because they never want to spend time with me, even though it's you who says no. Even just to yourself, you don't have to physically say it. People can pick up the energy, and even if they don't know it consciously, subconsciously they know that you don't want to be talked to, you don't want to be asked out. And people radiate it back to you. You know, people will display it back to you, the energies that you don't know. So that may be that you, if you feel like, oh, I just want to be by myself all the time, people will respond to that subconsciously. So what that means is people might just decide that, oh, maybe I'll ask this person out later. Maybe I'll do this with other people first, because I feel like it's not really the time, or I'm too busy to hang out with this person. And by this person, I mean you. Anyways, there is not much to say here, but basically the major changes and the good things here is that you have the power to stop this. You have the power to take the burdens off your hands and shift your energy. And to do that, all you have to do, all you really have to do, is just make that choice. And I know it sounds like, oh my god, that's might be like so hard. Like if you're on your phone, say like 9 hours a day, it might be hard to get off it. But it doesn't have to be so black and white. It's just about reducing time. Or it might need to be black and white if you find that you can't discipline yourself. But the important thing is for you to start doing something. And it's not about forcing yourself. Don't force yourself to ask people to hang out. Don't force yourself to see people if you don't feel like it. It's about shifting your energy to be in alignment with the version of you that sees your friends more often. So focus on that energy where you're seeing your friends a lot, if that's what you want. Focus on that energy. Tell yourself affirmations. So that may be, I like to see my friends a lot. I love hanging out. I'm open to hanging out, for example. And see how your reality changes for you. And see yourself emerge out of hermit mode. You might not see it, you might not even feel it during the time. But when you look back, I would say probably a month from now, you will be surprised at how you used to be and how you are by then. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you for tuning in today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you. Hello, Power 3. For those who have chosen the very last pile for this reading, we've got Painting the Roses Red, Covering Up Errors. So I feel like that already sends a lot of message, but we'll get into that after I shuffle these cards. So I've got this deck here. I'm gonna shuffle some cards. See what major changes that are good that are coming for you. Oh my god, wow. So we've got a bit of a heavy energy here. Not just, I'll just first start off that you've got 10 of Wands upright, 6 of Swords upright, and 10 of Cups upright, which is a very positive card to be getting right now. But to start off, I would say that some of the major changes that are coming is that you could be having you might be starting a family for one, so maybe you'll meet someone new and with whom you might start a family with, which can be daunting if you have any commitment issues or you're scared of meeting new people. But what I can see here is that you're gonna be meeting someone new, and maybe like it could be a friend, even like maybe someone will come back into your life and they will have changed so much you hardly recognize them, but then you see them and then you go, oh my god, wow, I'm amazed at what you've become. And then, you know, from there then and there you might become friends or more. But the main thing here is that from what I see is that you've been doing so much for yourself, and even if you don't feel that way, you have done so much. And not only do I want to congratulate you, but I think the universe wants to congratulate you too. You've done a lot, you've faced a lot. There may, like, the year might have, your last year, or even this year, might have been very challenging for you. You might have felt like you faced so much things you didn't think you could have pushed through it, but you did. And the best part is at the end of that tunnel is a whole rainbow. That's why you have the 10 of Cups. It's a whole rainbow waiting for you. It's a whole like gold mine waiting for you. And that's the best part about it, is that happiness is at the end of the road. And I know that, you know, happiness can happen any day, happiness can happen any time, but honestly the big major changes and the good things are coming is that you will find yourself at ease. You will find yourself being so happy that you don't even know how you got here. I mean, you could probably name a few things, but in a whole lot of it is that you probably can't even pinpoint where it all changed for you and how, like when it all got better either. But I've seen that you might have faced a really difficult loss. You might have lost someone, maybe broke up with someone, maybe lost a family member for whatever reason, or maybe you heard of really bad news about a friend and it might have brought you down. I see you might be a very empathetic person, so you might be someone who cares a lot about other people, even if it doesn't really involve you, concern you, you care about them, which is very sweet. But it obviously could be detriment to your health and your mood. But it's a really positive things that you have the 10 of Cups. Now, I will read from the book Alice in Wonderland Oracle book, and I will read Painting the Roses Red. Painting the roses red, covering up errors. Would you tell me, please, said Alice, a little timidly. Why are you painting those roses? 5 and 7 said nothing, but looked at 2. 2 began in a low voice. Why, the fact is, you see, miss, this here ought to have been a red rose tree. and we put a white one in by mistake. And if the queen was to find it out, we should all have our heads cut off, you know? And the message for this card is that we all make mistakes. Every single one of us up, upon this planet has made a mistake, misunderstood, done something that wasn't quite correct, and mixed up things rather terribly. Today, people often complain and want perfection. Much like the dreaded queen, they behave as if they have the right to cut people's heads off, to punish them if they have not carried out their assignments perfectly. The same applies to our soul assignments. Despite what our soul would best enjoy learning, we humans often misunderstand, head off in another direction, and make some rather wonderful mistakes. Thankfully, unlike the queen, our soul will not punish us, but we do need to do some work to make things right. While you may be tempted to cover things up and not be open about what has happened, especially perhaps to yourself, it truly is best to see what can be done. If this relates to you on an everyday level and you're working for a person who will be unkind or cruel if you do not perform tasks perfectly, then you may need to find a way to peacefully escape the situation. That way, you can enjoy white roses just as they are without fear of making a mistake or making things even worse because you feel you must cover up an error to avoid punishment. White roses are perfect and lovely and innocent. Do not try to cover up anything within yourself that you feel is not right, for fear of being punished for not presenting or behaving to expectation. That is a very heavy message. I just want to say that actually reading it and seeing the card itself almost makes me want to tear up. And I feel like that might be a feeling that you might have felt over the last year or few years or months, is that you may feel like everything you do has led you to this point and that it was a mistake. You may feel like, why am I facing this? Why do I have to go through this? What did I do to deserve this? And truth is, there was nothing that you did that was wrong. It was not your fault that the white roses have been planted. Even though, yes, I suppose you can partly blame yourself that the white roses have been planted, even though they wanted red. But the truth is, people make mistakes, like they said. You can't be perfect all the time. You can't do things right the first time every single time. Sometimes you make mistakes. And the biggest part is you gotta own it to yourself. You don't have to broadcast that you made a mistake, that what you did was wrong, that you may have thought bad about someone else and saw that it happen. You might have wished, oh, I wish that person like got hurt. And then they did, and you were like, oh my god, what did I just do? But truth is, you didn't really do anything. And even if you did, own it up to yourself. Own it in your heart. Know what you did and own to it. You don't need to tell anyone else. You don't need to broadcast how horrible of a person you think you are or what you have done. But you need to be honest with yourself, and you need to not put blame on someone else, like, oh, I know they want red roses, but it was because the person who sold the seeds for the what sorry the supplier who sells seeds for roses gave me the white one. It wasn't my fault. That is not how you should look at it, like that. You are supposed to look at it like, okay, maybe the supplier might have given me the seeds for white roses, but I didn't double check or whatever. Like, just own it. You know, don't play the blame game. Don't blame other people for your mistakes, and don't blame yourself for other people's mistakes either. Like, I think you can be very hard on yourself, but at the same time you might like to play the victim mentality at the same time. Like, you you're hard on yourself and yet you like to blame others. And I feel like that is something that, like, it's the new year, like, it's a new year. It's time to look beyond that and see the 10 of cups that are waiting at the end of that. You face those challenges, you face those mistakes, and you know what, you've pushed past it. You have come out at the end, and there is happiness waiting for you. There is new relationships to come, there are new people to come, there are new jobs to come, there are new days to come, happier days. So don't feel like it's doom and gloom, even though it might have been. The major change, the good news here is that you can still have hope, because there is something to look forward to tomorrow. There is something you can always look forward to tomorrow, another day. So if you've been struggling, just know that your struggle will end. And it can end as soon as tomorrow. It can end as long as maybe next week or a few months. But it's not gonna keep going like this. So please, as the universe may say, please don't keep blaming yourself. Please don't keep blaming others either. Just own up to it. It was all everyone's fault. It was all everyone's mistake. We all played a part in what happened, and we own up to it. And who cares? We've already got past it. It's a shame that they want red roses, but from the supplier to you who plant those seeds, to the gardener, to everyone, we've all made a mistake of something. Altogether, it's not just your fault, and it's not just their fault. And you know what? And it doesn't even matter really who's at fault. Just know that you are not alone. You are not alone, and your mistakes are not here forever. It will pass, just like everything else. All the bad times will pass. So just keep pushing, keep staying strong, because the 10 of cups is waiting for you. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know that it might not be the most positive message, but I just want you to know that present time, it might not be. Future time, it will be, because you're going to have this. You are going to have this, and nothing will change that. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, because you can be excited for what's to come. Thank you. Bye.